It's the Brad and John Show.
The Brad and John Show. Today's date is the 14th of July. This is the B block, the Bravo block, which means we start it right around 7:20 or so. We're almost close there, 7:23. The reason I mention what day it is, hold on, let me clear my voice, is that a lot of people listen to the show in the future, bjshow.co, bjshow.us, listen to the podcast, the video, YouTube podcast, whatever you want to call it, the vlog, whatever they call that stuff on YouTube. And sometimes it makes sense if you know the reference of the day we did the show. Right, John?
That's exactly right, Brad. And we're coming up on my favorite jingle that you've ever done.
Which is what? You mean this one?
It's time for Brad's Top 3.
You mean Brad's Top 3, John?
I'm doing the gritty to it right now.
One more time. Okay, we go right into number 3.
It's number 3.
This one, I try to do local stories, and unfortunately, 2 of my 3 stories are not local this morning, but I thought this was pretty funny. Okay, a lady orders... This is actually sort of funny. Okay, this happened in... What city is this happening? It happened in... As soon as my news comes up here, I can't remember. This was in Tempe, Arizona. Okay?
I love Tempe, Arizona. What a beautiful town. A college town, Brad.
A lady orders a pizza. And, the pizza delivery guy is supposed to knock on her door. And she opens up the...
Uh-oh, Brad. On the direction I'm thinking it's going.
What do you think it's going?
I mean, she couldn't pay for it, so she had to find an alternate way of payment.
No, nothing like that.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
She opens up the door, and there's 2 police officers there standing there with her pizza. And she's looking at him like, okay, I ordered the pizza. What's the police department doing ordering or delivering my pizza? And they explained to her that on the way to delivering the pizza, they had to arrest the pizza delivery guy. And he says, but I have to deliver this pizza. And they said, we'll take care of it. So they handcuffed the guy, put him in the back of the squad car, went to the address, delivered the pizza to the woman. I mean, is that like above and beyond the call of duty or what?
Very good. Now, did they eat any of it?
No.
Did they take 1 or 2 slices as a tip?
No. John, do you ever get delivery like this? You ever get food delivery like this?
Very rarely do I order food, yeah.
Okay. What's amazing to me was the story came out for a while that they interviewed like 100, Uber Eats guys and DoorDash guys, and like 98 of them said, or guys and gals, I guess you could say, 98 of them said, yeah, we sampled some of the food at one point in time. We ate some of the French fries. If you've been in a fast food restaurant lately and you've seen them preparing the go orders, for the delivery, the Door Dashers, they like hermetically seal the bags now. They're putting like tape on them, stapling them a whole bit to essentially, I guess, keep the driver pirates out of the food, right? Because...
Yeah, I think it also just ensures a little bit of confidence from the consumer that nobody's jammed their finger into your food.
Right, one of those things. Okay, number 2. You ready for this one, John?
I sure am.
It's time for Brad's number 2.
Yes, got to sing it again.
It's time for Brad's number 2.
There are times when John and I'm an old guy. I'm a pre-baby boomer because I was born in 1935, and that was before the baby boomers were around.
Your kayfabe birthday is 1935.
I graduated from high school in 1953. Okay, so... a lot of times we talk about the youngsters are not the most ambitious people and all they want to do is sit in their basement and play video games. And I even give the example of my youngest son who's he's a Bernie bro, and all he wants Bernie Sanders is to be president because that way he could stay home all day and play video games and have his rent paid for and his car paid for and his health insurance paid for and everything paid for because Bernie's going to take care of him. And every once in a while you hear a story that just comes out of nowhere and you go like, you know what? Those young folks, maybe they do got their act together.
The kids are all right, right?
The kids are all right. An interesting sports story. For the first time in decades, a 17-year-old has been the number 1 in the Major League Baseball draft. He's out of Oklahoma. His name is Eli Willits, and he is the numero uno pick in Major League Baseball. He's 17. And I think the last time that happened was, I can't remember who it was, but it was some big monster baseball player that you know exactly who it was. But
it might have been, well, I'm sorry to interrupt, Brad, but I remember Joe Charbonneau was a big top flight pick. Joe Nuxhall pitched famously at age 15 for the Cincinnati Reds. But you're right. Like, you never pick a 17-year-old as the number one pick.
Right. High school shortstop Eli Willits became the latest teenager to take a big step in making his professional baseball dreams come true. Let me read into a little bit of story here. The Washington Nationals selected Willits with the number one overall pick of the MLB amateur draft on Sunday night. At 17 years old, he's the youngest player taken since Ken Griffey Jr. in 1987 with the Seattle Mariners.
I wonder whatever happened to that Griffey guy. I wonder if he ever did anything decent in the major leagues.
No, he's like the one-hit wonder. Literally, he made it to the bigs one day, got a hit, and they say, boy, you just can't quite handle it in the bigs. We're sending you back down to the AAA.
They said, get out of here. They said, you're not as good as your pops.
Right. We're sending you back down to the Mud Hens or something like that, right? Okay.
I love the Toledo Mud Hens. Go ahead, Brad.
Ready for number one?
I sure am.
And now, big finish, Brad's number.
It is my number one. And maybe, just maybe, we're making some progress with the city of St. Louis as far as the crime situation. John, have you heard this about what they're going to do on Wash Avenue?
No, what are they doing, Brad?
They're going to close it nightly to curb downtown crime.
I love it. Very good. So it's only going to be open to foot traffic? Tell me more, Brad.
Yes. Matter of fact, Police Department spokesman Mitch McCoy said the curfew, which has been in place since the 1990s, first off, they're going to put the curfew back in. The curfew is going to be for teens from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. on Monday and Saturday, on Friday and Saturday, and from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Sunday through Thursday. But then they're also going to shut down the Washington Ave between, I think, like Tucker and after reduced issues near downtown will be the shutdown of Washington Avenue between 12th and 14th Street. 12th? Who writes 12th? It's Tucker. It's
Tucker Boulevard.
This is on KSDK. I swear to God, it says 12th Street. Okay.
It might have been written by AI, Brad.
Yeah, this might have been written by AI. It'll be closed to traffic from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. every Friday, Saturday through September or October in an effort to eliminate cruising in the area. So they're going to crack down on curfew violators, and they're going to crack down on cruisers. Now, can I give you a little bit of not anecdotal evidence, but what happened to a place where I used to work, which was the king of cruising in North County, John?
Where was it, Brad? What happened?
John, I was a very famous curb boy up in North County. I mean, people knew my name far and wide because I worked at the famous, or some people would say the infamous, back then we called it the 140 Steak-n-Shake. I don't know if you know this or not, but back in the day, Lindbergh in North County was designated as 140. Did you know this?
I never knew that, Brad.
Yes, and then they changed the designation because they made it 67 and 367, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, and where exactly was the Steak-n-Shake? It was at Lindbergh and what?
Do you know where the Deerbergs is there in Lindbergh right now? You know, like down from Washington Elizabeth. You know where that's at?
I'm trying to picture it. No, I don't. What's a major cross street there?
Well, right down the street would have been what I guess Washington Street or Charbonnet or whatever.
Okay, I'm trying. While I picture that in my head, go ahead and tell your story.
Okay, we were the hot spot of North County, and matter of fact, I used to make tons of money, except some of the S-birds would come in, and we always knew there was one combination that the guys would come in if it was date night. If they ordered 2 large sodas, a soda for them and their date, with tax it came to 99 cents. And how many times did we get this big spender dude with his girlfriend who'd flip us a $1 bill and say, "Hey buddy, keep the change." "Thanks, man." And sometimes I would take the penny out and I'd throw it on the dashboard. I'd say, "You need it more than I do. See you, bye, jerkazoid."
That's a good point. And by the way, who does that in front of a chick they're trying to impress?
Well, that's...
You know what I'm saying? I interrupted you, though, Brad.
No, you're exact.
So it was a hot spot.
Well, here, let me digress. I never digress off my points, John, and you will be...
I know, Brad, and I don't spend most of the show trying to keep you on track.
But think about that for a minute. If you're out on a date, let's say it's a first date, and you're a dude and you're trying to impress a woman, and the waitress comes to the table and the check comes out to $39.50, do you give her 2 20s and say, "Keep the change in front of your date"? No. What do you do? What do
you
do,
give
Jim?
her 2 20s and you say, "Can I please have my 50 cents back?" and then you make a race for the door, Brad.
That's not what you do.
I mean, it's ever the more reason why you don't take women out early in the relationship.
That's
so go
right.
ahead, Brad.
Because you weren't. So anyway, where was I going with this? Okay, North County. I worked at that Steak and Shake. Okay, and it was crazy time. I mean, we were packed all night long. Friday, Saturday night. It was just off the charts. Okay. And it got so crazy, and they hired security guards, and the security guards were pretty much worthless. Then they hired off-duty Florissant police, and they killed the place because of the fact that the police were like, hey, buddy, you got 10 minutes to drink that Coke, and then get the heck off the lot. They didn't say heck. They used stronger words.
I know what
like,
you're saying.
Like,
I get it.
Like hell, like things like that. Because back in the day, those Florissant police were mean dudes. Remember, Mayor Egan would give them, like the fear of death if anybody like threw a plastic cup out their window driving down the highway. They could be given the electric chair for that in Florissant.
And what was Egan's point about? I don't know. Things happening after a certain point in the evening, Brad.
Well, I've told the story before. I have people that tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I have actual evidence that this happened to me personally. They had the White Castle, and Mayor Egan did not want a White Castle in Florissant. He fought the White Castle because White Castle was open 24 hours a day, and he said that there's no good that happens between midnight and 6 in any of the streets, in any place. And as a compromise, the White Castle closed at 2 o'clock and opened up at 6 o'clock in the morning. The bizarre part of that was they really just closed the doors. They were in there, still cleaning and stuff like that. But, they had like a skeleton crew. And one night, when I was much younger, and I used to go out on New Year's Eve, and I haven't done that in a long time. One night, I was in there at 1:30 in the morning after New Year's Eve, and the line was especially long because everybody was in there trying to soak up all that alcohol. And at 2 o'clock, they locked the doors, and there were people outside beating on the doors. Let us in, let us in. They go, we can't. We'll get arrested by the Florissant police. We have to close at 2 o'clock. So I know that was a thing. They closed from 2 to 6 every single morning.
I see.
7 days a week. That was because of Mayor Egan. Because, and you know what's so sad about that? That's a perfect example. Anybody who's been in the law enforcement business, the broadcasting business, name all these business, healthcare business. There's lots of things going on between midnight and 6. There's lots of activity out there. Matter of fact, nowadays in the St. Louis area, there's a lot of data processing, a lot of computer jobs that are running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Matter of fact, I think I told you this. Tracy Ellis's husband, Rick Ellis, was like a big IT guy for Enterprise, and he worked the night shift because, they're running cars all over the country. They're running cars in different time zones. They don't ever shut down. They're processing, car rentals and stuff like that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. He was like the supervisor, the not supervisor.
Yeah. I get it.
Out of Enterprise. So, Mayor Egan, I've always wanted to say this. How's that, John? Did I do okay?
Yeah, you really showed him. Can we get back to the original story, though, Brad? Do you think this will have an appreciable decrease in crime?
They'll go somewhere else. That's what happened.
Yeah, they'll just move south or they'll move north or somewhere.
They'll go down to Market Street or something like that.
But at least you get it off Wash Ave, right? Because some people, maybe unwittingly, that don't do any research, think, it might be nice to stay on Washington Avenue in St. Louis. I heard that in 2005, that was a nice place in St. Louis.
Yes, that was the youngsters, the 20-somethings would buy. We're going to buy a loft on Wash Avenue.
I had a female friend who had a loft down there, and it was glorious.
Back in the day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 2005. I mean,
right.
I wouldn't go there.
And she really liked living there then?
She did live there. Yeah, she had a nice loft and that the flagship apartment. I can't think of the name of the place, but that main building that they converted to lofts.
Yes. Matter of fact, but she enjoyed living there then?
Oh yeah, she liked it. I mean, she was young. She was probably at the time a few years younger than me, but yeah, so like mid-20s, I would say.
So she could, like at night, she could go to any of the bars along there. She could walk into downtown.
Yeah, drink and stumble right back home.
Stumble right back home.
I mean, remember, and a lot of our listeners will remember that too. At least those folks that are in their late 30s or 40s will remember when there was a place called the Pepper Lounge down there. It was a little try-hard, but it was kind of a hip, stylish place.
Well,
it was a decent area back then.
Yeah, there were some nice places down there. Matter of fact, when I had my Searchlight business, occasionally from time to time, we get rented to do Searchlight rentals for opening bars, things like that. One of the interesting things was, I don't know if you know this or not, this is like Brad the Nerd time, but underneath Wash Avenue, there's tunnels under there. Do you know that?
I did not know that. No.
And do you know why there's tunnels under there?
Because of the Great Flood of 1904.
No, because of the fact that that area was manufacturing. Matter of fact, my good friend that was the chief engineer at the old KSLQ, Jeff Andrew, his father still had a dress factory. Matter of fact, it was like at that time, it was third generation. And he took me down there and showed me because of the fact that they had all the manufacturing. And when they got done with the finished product, with the shoes and the dresses and all the different things they did, they took it down the elevator into the basement and they rolled it into the area there, and they had either train cars or like trolley cars or something like that. They loaded all the stuff, and it went ultimately it was shipped out that way because it was underneath there. Matter of fact, to this day, same thing on Tucker. There's parts of Tucker that there's tunnels underneath there. Matter of fact,
are the tunnels still operable?
Oh well, because that's how the Metrolink thing got in. When you go through the Metrolink, have you ever been through the Metrolink downtown where you go underground? You go underground at Busch Stadium, and you're totally underground till you come out at the Eads Bridge. You ever done that before?
I don't remember that at all. No, I don't. I don't think I've ever gone further than Busch Stadium. I think that would have been my last stop.
It's all underground, and they repurposed the underground tunnels that were left over from the manufacturing days, or the heydays of the city of St. Louis. They repurposed those tunnels, and that's how. Like I said, if you're going downtown in Metrolink, once you stop at the Cardinals Busch Stadium thing, it's all underground from there all the way to Eads Bridge. So you go north, and then you make a turn, and you go east, and you could stop. Like there's a couple different stops in downtown that are underground, and you stop at the convention center. That's one of the stops, and then the next stop is Eads Bridge. You can get off right there, go to the landing. Matter of fact, it used to be back in the day when the Metrolink was still going, and when the landing still had people that showed up there before they killed it with the construction for the arch. But yeah, that was the thing. And there's tunnels all over downtown St. Louis. It's crazy. I mean,
I think that'd be a good opportunity for the Cardinals when they get a ton of taxpayer money in like 5 years or so, thanks to this Royals and Chiefs thing. When the Cardinals cash in, maybe they can make a little mini stop on the Metrolink, and you can, see a display to how terrible the stadium was before they got all the money to fix it.
Well, I'm not the expert at this, but isn't there a place, and I've never been there before, but isn't there a place in Atlanta called Underground Atlanta? Isn't that like the same thing? It's like an underground entertainment area, which once upon a time was like all these train tunnels underneath downtown Atlanta.
I don't know. I've never heard of that before, Brad.
I'm going to look that up during the break. I believe it's called Underground Atlanta, and I think that's what it is. It's old train tracks underneath the city. See, what's sort of weird about this is there's so much history of our area that not a lot of people know. I mean, like, for example, John didn't know about the fact that once upon a time there was nuclear waste on the north side of the airport. He never knew about that.
I had never heard that before.
Never.
And then there was some cranky old guy that kept arguing about the definition of a bridge and a culvert. And I'm like, Brad, you took pictures of it on January 22nd. Just look at your phone.
I went back and looked. And by the way, John, I know this is actually funny. I know you don't look at Facebook, but I reposted a picture I took a couple years ago, which is actually kind of funny because of the fact that, here, let me find it here real quick. It's a picture I took at the infamous one you reference all the time, out at the Weldon Spring press conference where you always talk about the Jason Rosenblum. Isn't that his name, Jason Rosenblum?
No, it is not, but go ahead.
Jason Rosen something or other. He took a picture.
Let's call him Ken Rosenthal.
Ken Rosenthal.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
What were you wearing, Brad?
I was wearing my pink safety vest.
And it was Pride Month.
It was,
so you had
it was Pride
you,
Month. Okay.
Nice.
There's a picture, and there's me doing my journalistic thing. And what I did was, this is like journalist stuff. You do the establishment shot, where what you do is you get behind the scenes and you take a picture from the reverse.
BTS, yeah, an establishing shot.
Right. You take a shot of all the people involved in a press conference from behind, and then you can see all the press in front with their cameras and stuff like that. And there's one guy, and I put a big presser out in Weldon Spring at the dump site, and I put a caption on the picture. Who's the guy in the skinny jeans and pirate shoes? Anybody know? There he is, skinny jeans and pirate shoes, John. You can see him from behind if you want.
I am on your Facebook page. First of all, just by going to Facebook, my testosterone level dropped 40% and I have more gray hair. Secondly, Brad, What you're saying is sometimes you like to go in public and take pictures of people from behind. Is that what I heard you say?
Well, no, this is a common journalistic little thing that you pull, that you show that here's sort of like behind the scenes, and you can see the press corps out in front. And there's quite a few press people. You see all the camera
I do,
crew.
and I also see Bill Eigel, and I see Jay Ashcroft in the same on the left side of the photo, Brad.
Right, there he is. And do you see the guy with the skinny jeans and the pirate shoes? You know who that is, John?
That's Lucas Kuntz, isn't it?
No, that's not Lucas Kuntz.
That's not Lucas Kuntz?
No! Take a guess. J.H.
Let me see, guys. Oh, Walkin' Joe Teasdale.
No.
I know who that is.
Who
If
is it,
it's in
John?
St. Charles County.
Who is
and
it?
And it has to do with positive economic stuff.
Yes.
It's a leader out there named Scott Drachnick.
No, it's not Scott.
It is Scott Drachnick.
It's
I
not.
see. Thanks, Brad.
It's not Scott Drachnick, the guy who loves me, who just can't get enough of bread. Okay, we have to take a break. You know, I have someone who said to me recently, why a lot of people hate you, Brad? I go, I don't know. I mean, I don't.
They don't hate you, Brad.
They do hate me. Okay,